Well, today we're going to do a little how-to video on the 1996 Classic, Polaris Classic, and we're going to be installing a reverse gear. The reverse gears in the chain case. So I thought I'd take everybody along, and the first thing we do is get the hood out of the way. You can see that I've already removed the gears and chain that were in it. So we're going to put in a set of reverse gears, which it came with it. When I bought it, it had just a straight drive, forward drive in it. The guy that had it before me had pulled the reverse gears out of it and put a straight drive for some odd reason. But anyway, first thing we have to do is get everything cleaned up here in your chain case. You get all the old oil out of the bottom and make sure everything's clean. There's a washer here that goes on, and these are the preliminary stuff. This is your lever. We'll get to that later. Just kind of get that out of the way so it's not bothering you. And then up here on the top gear, there's a shim that goes right in here like this, with this little edge you can see, and then there's a little washer there too that goes in like that. Alright, so that's how it looks. Shaft for your intermediate gears, and this is where your two reverse gears go, and this is where your top drive gear go. So I'll put you I'll just take you along here and show you. What you've got to do is put this gear and your reverse gears all together at once, pretty much. Now I'll show you what we've got over here. This is an exploded view of what it looks like. Okay, these are all my gears. These two are the reverse gears. That's the bolt that holds the reverse gear on. This is your top gear, and these are your two intermediate gears that will change it from reverse to forward. And then this is a chain tensioner. So this shaft right here, I'll show you where that goes. But I had to buy a new chain, and this is a special chain. I can't think of the name of it right now, but anyway, it's a special chain. But I've got some pictures, exploded views, and I'll take you along as we do this. So let's get started. Alright, we're going to take our top gear and we're going to put it in on first. There you go, slides right on the spline shaft here. Actually, I'm going to put it on the other way. I guess it doesn't really matter which way you do it, but anyway. Put that on. And we're going to come over here and get this shaft here. This goes down inside this gear, and you can see the splines on the inside of that. They slide over the bottom. They go down here. This shaft like that there. And so remember, now there's a washer down in behind there. It just fell off. That washer's got to be in there. And then your other gear slides over the top of that. Like so. Alright. Now, what we're going to do is put on, as I mentioned, you got to do this all together. I'll put you on the stand here to show you how I'm going to put the chain in there. It's kind of like you got to put all of them together at once. So let me show you what the intermediate gear. Now, this picture right here, these are your two intermediate gears, and you can see one is a little bit wider than the other one. And so here's our gears. There's that one, and then there's this one. You can see that one is thicker than the other one. Actually, they go like this. So gives you an idea what we're talking about, all right? So let's just take and put, for the time being, slide this one, this shaft right here. Okay. What I've done is I've oiled everything all up before I slide stuff on, so it's got a little lubricant on it to move on. But anyway, now I'll put you on the stand, and because I'm going to need both hands to show you how to do the chain. Alright, now we're going to put the chain. Let me turn this thing around here so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, now we got our chain. We're going to slide that on. What this you have to do, you got to get it on the gear, top gear, like so. And this intermediate gear has got to go in there, and then this bottom gear, probably in blocking my view, but you got to pull this gear out. Actually, just pull that shaft out and set your bottom gear in that chain. It's hard to do because the gears are going to want to slide off the shafts. Got to keep everything together at one time. It's not that difficult, but it's definitely takes two hands. Alright, you can see now I've got everything pretty much together. Gotta get that intermediate gear slipped out of there. Okay. And I got all the gears on now. I'm going to put this piece, slide it over the splines on the bottom, and that goes through the center of that gear. There you go. So you got your intermediate gear, your top gears, and your bottom. Now what we want to do is, I'll show you, put on the secondary gear here. We'll slide this one into place. And you see these little, see these little teeth on it there. Those just slide in where the other one's at, like that. That's what activates your reverse, and I'll show you what happens. And now we pick up, this is actually the reverse gear. This is the expensive gear of all of them because this little gizmo in the center moves, and that gives you a little bit of play to take it in and out of gear. But just make sure this thing's all good and oiled so that, you know, when you go to start it up, that everything works okay. Because this chain case will be full of oil. But anyway, you see these notches here. If you look on this gear here, you can see there's little tips that come out there. Well, they go in each one of those little notches. And the inside of this gear is splined, so it slides right over this little shaft that you put in. So you might have to do a little finagling because this gear here will turn. You see how that's moving? And the other thing that I forgot to do is tell you is to take off your drive belt, because this way that this secondary shaft, which is right here, is attached to your secondary clutch, and with that belt off you can easily spin that. You can see how easy I can spin that, and it makes it a lot easier in putting this together. So we slide this over this spline, and then that meshes with this gear. You can see that that is reverse. Okay, and you can see on this gear there's a groove in here. And I'll put this on here and I'll show you what amp is in that groove. Within the case itself, this is the outer case of it. And you see this little arm here. Well, it's on the outside. You can see it. That slides in this groove. Okay? And then that goes on like this. And you pull on your cable, and that pushes that gear in and out of that shaft. Because right now, as I mentioned, it's in reverse. And then when you want it to go forward, you push it in and it locks in with those teeth on that other gear. And that's why I say there's a little bit of play in that. And you have to wiggle it, and it goes in there. Line it up, and then I can show you easier. There we go. There it goes. And so now it's going forward. And I'll show you what that looks like. I'll take you off the tripod and I'll show you the gear alignment there. So there's what it looks like. And it's in forward gear right now. You can see this gear here is not connected with this outer gear. But then when you pull that cable, it pulls this gear out and it engages this gear, which in turn, this gear here is being driven, they're locked together. This causes it to go backwards. It's I don't know how to even explain it, but it works. But then when you want to put it in forward, you slide that back in and that gear goes up into there. And this gear pretty much freewheels. You can see it isn't even engaged in that one. So that's the basics. That's how the gears go together. And then what you have is this is your tensioner, chain tensioner. This goes over here. Like so. See, that goes up against this chain, and this bolt here tightens in, and you can see how that's moving that tensioner, and that's how you get your chain tension, proper chain tension. Okay, before we get to that, we're going to put the bolt on there, and we're going to put the bolt down here, and this will be fastened on by means of the chain case cover itself. There's a hole right there where that goes into, so that secures that. So, and this is the top nut and washer. That goes on here like this, and you can see there's holes in here, so there's a cotter pin that will go in that. And I don't know what the torque specs for this are. I don't know if I even have them, but anyway, that goes in there. You drop a pin in that, and then this apparatus is for your bottom. It's got a spring on it with the bolt that goes through it. I can get it situated here with one hand. This goes like this. You put this down here like so, and there you go, slides right over that shaft. And as you tighten this up, this spring will collapse, and you can see the shoulders on the outside of this thing. They will go up inside this piece here and secure that so that it doesn't want to move. But anyway, that's it for putting in the reverse gears in a 1996 Polaris Classic, and it's a 500cc engine, and not too difficult, but if you've never done it before, it can be kind of a challenge. In fact, you can buy kits, reverse kits for these, and they will come with instructions, but this is the dipstick. It's got a magnet on the end, and this over here is the gasket. Goes around the chain case edge. But these are some diagrams that I had picked up online, and it kind of shows you, exploded view of everything. And this is just another one. But this was some information that I got from the Polaris dealer himself, and very similar. You can see this deal here and this pin. That shows it on this picture here too. And now, I don't know if this is for, these pictures are for a kit. I'm believing that they are, but this come from the factory with reverse. So that pin is what this is right here. And then this little doohickey behind here, you can see it there, that little black plate, angle plate, there's 2 screws in it. Those are, that's the angled plate and that's the pin. You see the angled plate there, and there's the pin. Now it's showing those that you can take those off and on, and well, I know you can take that plate off and on, but that pin I don't think you can. So anyway, it's all there. It was all there when I pulled it off part. So, but that's it. So, if you got any questions, just put them in the comment section, and thanks for watching. Hopefully this will help somebody. We'll see you soon. And there's what it looks like when it's assembled. Now, the reason I brought you back is because this thing is a real bugger to get on. This spring, it's a pretty stiff spring. You've got to push it on, and then there's a nut or a bolt in the middle of that goes through, and it screws into the end of the actually the drive axle is what it is. And to get this thing to compress was quite a challenge. I had my wife out here and it didn't work. I tried holding it in when she screwed it in, it didn't work. So what I did was take a pair of channel locks, I guess they call them, adjustable wrench, these are vice grips, but take and actually put it on this lip of this groove, and then take and push on the outside edge of that whatever that deal is, and squeeze it together and push that in far enough so that you can start that bolt. And what I used was a 1/4 inch drive deep well 1/2 inch socket, and the socket itself is, see, it's got a little shoulder in there so that you can actually push the bolt in. And then I was able to get it started. Once you get it started, then you can take your channel locks off, and then you can just screw it the rest of the way in, like this, and tighten it up till it's good and tight, and you're ready to go. But anyway, just thought I'd add that little tip there, because that is a stinker to get in there. So anyway, we're going to torque this down and button her up. We should be done. So, alright, thanks for watching.